Hello everyone, and welcome back to Adulting with Bricks. This week, we're doing an update on the Retro Space Collection and how many sets I've been able to piece back together and how many sets I think I still have that are missing pieces. So we're going to start with, you can see I have bagged out certain pieces. So this is the Black Tron set. I would say this one's about 2/3 of the way done. I know there are some pieces missing on it. Especially, I know there's a set of four hinge pieces that were on here, and I have 3.5 out of the 4, so I'm missing a piece out of that. There's several shelf pieces missing, and then there are several other Black Tron pieces that are missing out of this. So I would say, I think the last count I think I had was down to about 15 pieces left. So this is the one I'm really hoping to get finished here soon. But I have also managed to figure out some other sets. This one I know is missing a set of tires. It is missing, I think, one computer console as well that I'm going to have to probably source on BrickLink, because you're never going to find the printed bricks, because back in the 80s they were printed bricks. There were no stickers on those pieces. So I'm looking at that, and you can tell this was well played with because you can see how worn the logo is, the space logo on here. This set I know is missing the computer pieces. This one I remember vividly, and this one has gray ones with some green on them, the computer pieces. So I know there's computer pieces missing from this, but still not sure what else, because I'm still looking through the pieces for this one. And then this one is the Space Dozer, and the biggest thing that's holding this up is finding the pins to hold the tires on, because those two pins are a little bit different than the normal Technic pin that holds on a tire. The normal Technic pins, well, they're really the reverse of the Technic pins, because normally the tire is the round part of it, and the square part would go into the piece, but on these it's actually the opposite way. And so the round part is shorter than normal, and the X is longer than normal. So I'm still trying to see if I can find something that can work in place of those. The biggest problem has been finding it in black. I've been using the bulk brick section at Bricks and Minifigs to try to collect any missing pieces that I know about. And I have found a lot of those connectors in like the dark gray, but not in black. And since those tires are black, though, that one calls for a black one. So I'm trying to figure out exactly how to get those. Again, probably ultimately may have to go to BrickLink when I get to that point. And then I have been able to complete 2 of the retro sets that I have, minus the minifigs, because while I have tons and tons of helmets and air tanks, which would be the thing you would have thought everybody lost, and the helmets are in good shape, they are not broken. As you can see, they are in good shape. So like Benny from the movie, where he's always got the broken thing, not the problem. I have only managed to come up with one white torso. So I'm not sure what happened to all the torsos and the legs. I have a suspicion two of my nieces loves playing with the minifigs at my parents' house, and they're also notorious for hiding things at their house. So my guess is that these have been hidden in something somewhere there, because I do know that they were there as of a few years ago, and I can't imagine where else they would be. And they're possibly mixed in with some of their Lego sets. And I've challenged them to build their Lego sets to see if we can find them, because I spent hours going through just piles of Lego, loose Legos. And supposedly they have sets together that are just not built. So I'm going to challenge them in that if they will do it, I will shoot a video about their friends collection and shout them out in it. So we'll see if this works. I'm kind of on the fence with them. It's also going to be a time issue for them because they're involved in everything. But I have managed to build this set. And this is set 6809, the XT5 and Droid. It's from 1987. It had 37 pieces. And it has a blue astronaut that's supposed to be in the chair. But again, I'm either going to have to find some new blue astronauts or see what I can, like I said, see if there's any at home. So I am missing minifigs on a lot of these, unfortunately, at this time. But this is the set, like I said, 6809. I remember the little chair and flying that little chair around a lot. And then this set I vividly remember because it's one of the few blue sets that I actually had. And at the time, like we've talked about, blue is my favorite color. So this was a big deal. And this one should have a white astronaut. But this is set 6825, the Cosmic Comet. It's from 1985 and it has 40 pieces to it. And both of these sets, like I said, are complete. All the way down to the fact, and I don't know if you can see it on here, there's even a little chip out of this one, so that tells you how well played it was. But this one, I actually did find all the pieces. Amazingly enough, to me, because I don't feel like you'd ever find these now, are how good a shape the tubes are in. There's a little bit of aged cracking up on the tops where they connect, and they're not the tightest connection ever, but they are there. And I have managed to keep up with them for 40 years. So that's pretty impressive there on that one. But in this adventure, I decided to start looking out for the retro space sets, for sets I didn't have as a child. Ones maybe I wanted or now just think are cool because this, like I said, for me, this is Lego. The retro space collection was Lego. Well, last couple of weeks ago, Jared went to a local toy show, and I chose not to go because I knew they didn't have a lot of Lego, and I knew he was wanting to tape, and he's into all kinds of things. Star Wars, Marvel, Masters of the Universe, you name it. Anything 80s, he's probably into it. So I knew they would be there for a while, but he called me and he said, I found something. Are you willing to pay the price? And I'm like, and he tells me how much it is, and I was like, okay, maybe. And so I called him. I said, well, tell me about it. He said, you're really going to want it. So I paid the price. I will tell you it was $125. I will say it was worth it. This is the set. It is 6929 and it is the Starfleet Voyager set. And they still had the box, which is the cool part. So, I mean, a box that was in excellent shape and the original instructions. So as you can see here, I mean, the box is in phenomenal shape. It even still has the price tag on it right here. So to give you an idea, this was at one point $19.99 back in the 80s, and it dropped to $13.23. So how I wish Lego prices were still this cheap on the daily, because that is something that we need to talk about in a future video, is pricing of Lego here lately. But this is a set. It had 243 pieces, and this is the set complete. Here you can see the details with the two of the computer pieces, and these are two of the computer pieces, ironically, that I'm pretty sure are missing from some of the sets that I do have. It comes out. The back end actually works as we break it. The back end does open on it. And out comes this box here that has additional tools. There is an astronaut in here, and it is a red astronaut. And I am going to show this because this was the one thing about it that if you don't know, if you're not a Lego collector, I don't think you would necessarily notice. So the helmet that came with the set, as they were passing off as a space helmet, looks like this. And if you can tell there, it's not the classic shape. It's more the race car helmet shape, because an actual retro helmet in comparison is more of a squared off shape, is a little bit taller. So that was one thing about it that was not accurate about the set. But fortunately, in all of my pile there, I did have a red one. So I was able to switch out for the correct helmet. So I was able to get this cool space set. So now I'm going to have to, now that I have 3 new sets to add to the retro space collection, I'm going to clean off the retro space shelf over there and move some of the slightly newer stuff out of the way so I can build me a display of the retro space collection. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit like and subscribe. and I will see you next week.